we are back.
So the real reason we are sat in this room is because I can hardly fucking train.
Yeah, so we are making most of the time. It's been a long time since we've been sat here, isn't it?
But
it's been a long time.
People haven't actually wanted it, so I'm joking. But no, I've been doing other YouTube, but then obviously if people don't know, who don't follow me on social media, I just tore my hamstring.
Tore his hamstring just randomly on a...
Yeah, just as you do. So
on a very easy rep as well, which was bizarre, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it wasn't even like...
Yeah, it wasn't. It was just the first exercise, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like, I think like we're aiming for 12, you're on 6, it just went...
Yeah, literally just popped, and then the worst thing about it was it was flying easy.
Yeah, just nothing.
And then my leg just went,
spasm.
Floppy. Yeah, it's floppy.
I'm moving down.
Get me out of it. But it was the worst machine to pull a muscle on because I was trapped in the fucker.
Yeah.
So I was like,
I kind of saw it, and then I just saw you around the corner, like, not moving. I was like...
I remember just looking at it thinking, I've told me.
Yeah, it's gone.
I was like, nah.
So then it was like, operation, ice, fucking run, do everything.
I was led on the floor in the... But you know what the greatest thing was? I was led on the floor in the gym, and because we always do legs on a Friday and everyone sees a lead on the floor, no one asked if I was alright. Everyone was just like, leg day.
Leg day, yeah.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah.
Told me I was
you better have just let them pass because the questions you get.
So
you get like, is it sore?
Yeah.
No, mate. No, it's fine.
No, it feels great.
I feel normal.
A few days of not walking,
doing
absolutely nothing. Tramadol down my head.
And then Iceland.
I was like tramadol, naproxen, pregabalin,
everything under the sun.
And then a quick trip to Iceland, in the snow, like you do with a torn hamstring.
With ice therapy.
Yeah,
that's what you went through, really, didn't it? It was the ice therapy.
It was the worst as well because obviously snow's like dead uneven, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I was obviously in TNs like you do.
Yeah, of course.
Snowmobiling with a torn hamstring, trying to trod through snow in -20.
Yes.
And I thought, this could get a little bit worse.
Imagine
I ended up like fucking it up even more and couldn't walk in them. Nah, we'll not imagine that.
No.
But yeah, so that was a long tangent.
That was a long intro to Ryan's stories hamstring.
Yeah. Not that anyone even cares, but anyway.
They do. To be fair, they do. I got DMs and everything.
Well,
that day because I think I had like 3. Normally, obviously, my chicken's like, but I had like 3 left, and I was like, and it went on like usually it'd be like 3 o'clock after we finished training, and it went to like 7, and then I had to apologise. I was like, I'm really sorry this happened. And then they're like, oh my god, he's alright. I'm like, yeah, he's fine. Yeah,
he's fine. He can't walk, but he's fine.
I know. I feel like texting him saying I've done it to see what response.
Yeah, just to get the sympathy.
Well, don't be late again, mate.
So yeah, we're back here doing. What should we do? Q&A today.
Do you want to do Q&A?
Yeah, just so then it adds some fucking value.
Yeah, bam.
Yeah, done.
Right. Do you want me to go first? Or are you going first?
You can go first.
I prepared for this, mate.
Did you?
Yeah.
No, I love you.
I've done 2 nutrition, 2 training, and 2 supplementation.
Oh my god,
I know.
He's on it. What's the first one?
So the first one will go with a training question.
Are you single? No.
Are you single?
No.
The last time you were,
Were you single? Stop this.
Who did you go to Iceland with?
Hey?
Who did you go to Iceland with? Tell the people. They don't want to know.
It's what?
Right,
cockblock. Absolute cockblock.
The first one is on train. Hey, that thingy. What they call them, not gonna lie links. Yeah. You can now say, that's it. Yeah,
not done one.
Unless it was said
me.
individual over and over again. Right, training. Do you change your training in different phases of prep and in off season?
Yes. So what we tend to do, or what we do, is we will start. Say, let's just take a prep scenario. We'll start somebody. How it will happen is off season. We'll obviously build the actual volume up.
Yeah.
So where we're lagging in body parts, we'll add more volume because the more food we've got, the more anabolics we've got, the better we can recover.
Yes.
So we'll end an off-season phase at the highest amount of recoverable capability for that individual.
Yeah.
Let's just say it's 15 sets per session.
Okay, yeah.
And then we'll deload, obviously before prep starts, to freshen up. And then we'll go back in at 15 sets.
Yeah.
And normally from like a 12 to 16 week prep, every 4 to 5 weeks, depending on the client and obviously how they're getting on and the fatigue and the job and so on, we'll start to pull sets away.
Yes.
To a point where we'll end up on the last week of, like last 4 weeks, of training. Mostly it'll be one set of compound movements. And then 2 sets of an isolation movement, or even just 1 set of an isolation movement.
You've got to look at things as well. Your risk to reward ratio on that is very, very little, isn't it? Like in terms of like the last 4 weeks, the amount of muscle you're going to gain, 0.
Yeah.
You've just got to look at, it's basically like entertaining, isn't it?
Yeah, the goal at that point is to maintain all the muscle mass that we've got. Not to, this whole thing of like training's going to burn body fat, it doesn't.
No.
The goal of training in a prep is to obviously maintain muscle.
Yeah.
It isn't to take off the body fat. The deficit will do that, and the cardio lipolytics will do that. So having the volume lower at that last 4 weeks allows us the physique to stay fresh, but allows our strength to stay high.
Yes.
And then, like you just said, the risk of injuries.
Is frightening. You see it too
Says
much,
me.
don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, but you see it all the time.
Yeah, all the time. We've got nutrition wise. How do you go about your nutrition on a holiday? Is there anything you do?
You're always on holiday, so you're the better to answer this.
Well,
So how would you go about it?
Clients ask me this all the time, to be fair, and the way I go about it is an actual, like, breakfast I eat what I want with the protein. Like, there's always eggs in there, always, and then I'll eat fruit and stuff. I'm major for fruit. I'm a nightmare for fruit, like a lot of fruit. And then one of the meals on holiday I'll try and do carb free, in terms of just like meat and veg, like meat, and usually it's like some like peppers and onions and stuff, like a bit like fajitas and stuff, but without the wraps. And then the evening meal's literally like anything, but everything's just always like a protein base in there, and then usually a shake or 2 a day as well, just do it that, because if I don't, I usually take a sub with me anyway.
Yeah, I'll always take supplements with me. So everybody who asks, can you take supplements on holiday? Yes, you can.
Yes.
You can just put them in your... If you've got enough allowance in your case, depends on how much fucking shit your missus takes with you and wants to use half of your case.
Yeah, all the time.
Speaking from experience.
Yes.
But
you got missus?
Shut up. Such a tosser. and then I'll take supplements with me. So that I've always got... Like, that's the thing as well. If you've got... I try and have 3 meals.
Yeah.
So breakfast, dinner, tea.
Yeah.
And then I'll do 2 shakes.
Yeah, similar. Yeah,
Yeah, so I'll probably do a shake after training when I've trained, and a shake before bed because it's convenient. And then, like you said, what I'll tend to do is if I'm staying in a different place, I'll either get an Airbnb and go to the supermarket, buy my own food, so it's dead easy to prep.
Yeah.
Or if I'm staying in, say you've got a villa in Thailand.
Yes.
You can do that, or you can
cook my food or whatever, or the deliveries and stuff.
It's just about preparation before you go. And thinking, okay, as long as I've got a decent amount of protein and a decent amount of carbs around training, I think if you're looking at, say, I even do it where I take a bag of cream of rice. I'll go cream of rice from away, cream of rice post-workout, and pre-workout, post-workout meals. And then the rest of my meals will just be protein sources. Yeah.
This is another one, actually. What's the most amount of weight you've seen gained on a holiday when you've had a client come back?
Honestly...
It's something that I had 11 pound in 4 days, and that was like, well done. Like, that's a good effort.
Nah, me personally, I've done 32 pounds in 7 days. That was heavy.
And that wasn't eating.
That wasn't eating like that.
No.
So what I used to do, which I don't do, well, I might do now, but after a prep, I'd always have a holiday booked, because anyone who knows on prep, you either buy a new car. Personally, I either buy a new car, move house. Or fucking book 10 holidays.
Trainers. Trainers is a nightmare for me.
Just buy stuff because of the dopamine hit, and I can't actually fucking do anything else.
Yeah, and that's all you can do.
Yeah, so I either do one of them. So normally it's a holiday, and then I booked a cruise. So like the food was...
It's just all inclusive, 24/7.
I spent about fucking 4 hours on their Instagram just going through like people's... It was got that bad. I was on tagged photos where it was people's... TripAdvisor, everything.
Yeah.
Fucking
I've done it,
on cardio. So that's what an hour of Stairmaster will get you.
Yeah.
So, so I booked that, and then it was like 24-hour room service.
£32 in 7 days is good, mate.
It was...
It's an effort, that.
Cankles was huge. Like my head. So it started off as well. It was actually Thailand. I went on a cruise, but then I did some Thailand and did some wherever.
Yeah.
And I started off, obviously, I did like Singapore and so on.
Yeah.
And fucking, I started off with pictures. Like, I was taking pictures off thinking, fucking look mint.
Yeah.
And then I got on PP Island, or whatever, how you pronounce it. I got on there and took a picture. I was like, fuck.
Can't post this.
I look fucking horrendous.
Find 7-day-old pictures. Post that. Still
I was like, just fucking get on about prep pictures. So yeah, that's probably about £20 post show is normally what people do in it.
Yeah, I think I've done both, where I've stayed decent, where I've not gone overboard, but I've got like, even the last show, not the last show, the one before that, I did £10 in a day.
Yeah.
And it just took so long. It's not even worth it.
Most of it's just glycogen,
Yeah.
water retention, and then what you've got to remember as well, I said to the lads, is like after a show we've used diuretics.
Yes.
So the rebound from that,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
isn't your true weight. So
No.
everybody's like, oh, I'm fucking 50 pounds up and I look massive, and I'm like, yeah, because you just
because you're full of water. Yeah.
When that actually settles and comes off.
It's so uncomfortable as well, isn't
you
it?
just want to sleep. But
just
the
wanna
lads
sleep and
who,
sweat.
after the British now, the lads who competed at the British, they've all
they've nailed it.
I've managed the
Like unbelievable.
Yeah.
Danny Duke and them, like, it's frightening.
everyone's still very lean.
Very lean and like, yeah, everything's there. They're just a lot fuller, which is it works. Like they've nailed it, haven't they?
What I've done, like, just to spin off on that a little bit, like the rebound phases now, like I've done every rebound phase possible, in every single fucking way. And what I found is perfect is just 500 milligrams of anabolics, so probably 200 tests, 300 primo, and then keep some T4 in lipolytics in there.
Yeah.
Drop everything else out for fatigue, cardio stay in just for health, and then obviously about 1,000 calories up from maintenance, and just keep them so they're there at that point where the like hunger isn't so high, and then just changing the foods over to like literally the most basic foods, but the ones that with most satiety, and then just one-off plan meal a week. And the guys, like I said, they've learned over time now that if you fuck that post-show window
you
up,
can ruin the whole thing.
your whole off-season.
And this is what I get a lot of clients as well, like when they finish a dieting phase. I've had the odd one or two where they're like, oh, I'm going to do the next bit myself, and I'm like, oh my god,
It's the worst time.
it's like, and then I guarantee 3 months later I fucked it up, mate.
Oh,
And it's
100%.
like, I need to diet again. It's like, right, okay, well, you're only coming back on if I can have the rebound, because I don't want to do all this again. It's pointless, isn't it? And the rebound phase is the best phase to get someone's calories up, keep the condition. And I've got clients now on like 4,000 or 5,000 calories.
Oh yeah.
Just because of small increments, because it's so easy just to overindulge, especially when you're lean and you think, oh, nothing happened. 10 days later, you're like, oh my god, like you just don't realise.
The other thing as well is we have guys who ask, Mateus in the gym was asking about his appetite, and one of the main things you got to focus on is keeping that appetite as high as you can, because that's a godsend. I always say to the lads, think back to end of off season where you couldn't face a fucking meal.
It's awful.
So as long as we can keep that appetite high,
You're laughing, aren't you?
or you can ride out 12, 16 weeks of progress
without
4,000, 5,000 calories and not even fucking notice.
I think we did like 6 months with me.
Yeah.
In the end, I think 6 months of like just constant, but we know like I'm a bit weird when my food just doesn't slip, does it? It's just always regimented. And I've been there where when I first started competing years ago, like my food was all over the place after a show, because it's like you've been released to the world. And you're just like, I want to try that, I want to do that, I want to do it. And it just the more direct and more focused you can be post show and keep it as clean as possible, the result is 10 times better, isn't it?
Yes,
like,
it just sets you up nicely.
No, 100%.
Upper, lower, or push-pull legs?
I think it all depends on the individual. For me personally, I can get in the gym minimum, like, if I needed to, 6 times a week. I think training in terms of intensity and stuff plays a massive factor, because if you've got someone doing upper, lower, and say they were training without sounding big-headed or whatever, but our level, what the intensity is there, the weight's there, apart from your hamstring, the weight's there, and everything is there. We're literally at peak performance week in, week out. There's no way I could do like upper, lower, even rest upper. It wouldn't happen. Like I need, like, so we've got it split like as like a 5-day split now, isn't it? And it seems to time absolutely perfect. But I think if you're a beginner, genuinely upper, lower would be perfect.
This is what I was actually 100%. Say. I think it's phased. So if you're brand new to the gym, the more you can expose your body to, like, and the amount of sets it's going to take for you to actually create a novel stimulus is fucking less than us who've been training 10 years.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's like the beginner start on, if I could go back, it'd be like, I would have started on upper and lower, built my strength up, built my lifts up, and rinsed that for 6-7 months or even longer, and then developed onto a push-pull legs where my body needs a little. I've got actual muscle mass. You could probably do upper lower for a whole year,
for a long time,
a long time, until you get into a stage where it's like, okay, actually, I need more development. Because again, if areas are going to need to come up, you can't be running upper lower, because again, you're not going to be able to.
You need to tight, and this is where our 5-day split comes in, doesn't it?
And then moving on to a push-pull legs, that's going to allow you then to have more volume, because you need more volume, and then obviously the intensity. And then like with us, I like it that you can. What we can do is we can kind of like interchange push-pull legs, so we can literally go like, right, so we're doing density, which is basically pull with a little bit of legs, then we're doing push,
Yeah.
And then we're doing pull.
Yeah.
Then we're doing legs, and then you can literally just. Whereas if you have, for me, if I just had chest day, it would almost just be a little bit of a waste.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I understand what you mean,
yeah, because I'm like, well, it's just chest, so
Yeah.
I can actually utilize my time a lot better.
Whereas we put very minimal, not minimal chest, but just bare minimum compared to everything else, because obviously we need to distribute volume in different places. Hence why we've got a density day, then we've got a push day, and then we've got a back day. But with the back day, we'll target more lat action or something like that, just to really target areas.
Yeah, so that you become when you start out, you don't need to be as specific. But then as you go, obviously transition through as getting better and becoming more developed and obviously more advanced, then you need to start looking at, right, okay, where are we putting the stimulus in it?
Yeah, that's it in reality. And with it's always about like the newbie gains, and this is where, like, when you start off training, people don't realise that when you start off training, anything you do to your body is a new stress. Your body's never used to it, and that's why your newbie gains are like, okay, I'm growing, and all of a sudden it stops. And the reason it stops is just because you stopped applying a new stress. Like, it got hard, and then you look at another program, or you do something else, because the moment it gets hard, everyone thinks, oh, it's hard, I need to change. But the amount of clients who, I'll say it time and time again, who will come to me, and then like 6 weeks back, like, it's really hard, can we swap it? And it's like, you're where you need to be.
Yeah, or even it's, I'm not progressing on that anymore.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, yeah, because you need new stress now.
Yeah, you need to now double down, and you need to basically grab your bollocks and go for it.
Yeah,
because that's
new stress and that new stimulus comes from them sets that are hard.
Yeah, 100%. But because you've never actually taken your body to them set levels and that weight and stuff, but you finally hit your peak, you're now there, and you think, oh, I need to change it now. Definitely, that's it.
I always have the saying to the guys on check-ins, I'm like, it's hard and it's meant to be.
Yeah,
that's the sweet spot.
Yeah. You are where 95% of people change direction.
Yeah.
And then they look exactly the same 12 months later, because they keep looking for new routes or shortcuts or the magic or anything. They just look for any change of direction that puts them back on the easy path again, and then they eventually hit the ceiling again of strength and where they need to be to cause that new stress, and then they divert again.
Yeah.
And they'll never actually progress. It's just always like bouncing off the wall of strength, and then bouncing off, and then continually just looking at new ways and stuff.
But we've got special gear, so that's what it is.
That's all it is. That's all it is.
Have you got another question?
They get special gears. Yeah, so another one we've got is, what's the worst side effects of any anabolics you've ever dealt with or heard of?
The worst side effects, I think it depends. Like, I hate this with bodybuilding, but it depends on the individual. But I think acne's probably the worst. The worst that you could get, because if you're looking at, we are presenting a physique on stage that needs to look great. And in reality, let's have it honestly, it's vanity.
100%.
Bodybuilding is a fucking beauty pageant with muscles.
We saw it this year massively in the physique group, didn't we? Where it was given, the physiques were nowhere near as good.
Yeah.
But because they looked more, almost like catalogues.
Aesthetic.
Yeah. But physique-wise, they were massively underdeveloped compared to people who didn't. Yeah, that was it.
And that you've got to look at the criteria, but then if you have seen such bad acne sometimes that it just ruins a physique, because that's all your eyes drawn to.
Yes, 100%.
It's the same thing. It's like if you've got a torn pec, it's not great for your physique because you've got this thing that's glaringly obvious that doesn't look aesthetic. So I think acne's probably the worst one. And then when you're looking at, say, like mental side of things, I think people don't realise the mental implications of anabolics. Yeah. And we see it time and time. Obviously, you own a gym. We see people time and time again where the whole life is in tatters.
Oh, I've seen it where the whole life's in the bin. But they're adamant, like, we'll just keep going. And it's so bizarre. It's like, it's almost like click, like, just have a think. Yeah. Breathe, like, yeah.
And that's what I think. That's probably the thing that impacts people the most is that.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, fucking erectile dysfunction, so on and so on. If you low testosterone and so on, is bad, but it's corrected like that.
Yeah, instantly.
But if you lose your house and you lose your missus and you lose your job, takes a bit longer. Takes a good few weeks to correct.
I've had a conversation with someone. It's gone back about 18 months, and in reality, I sat him down and I was like, do you want to sit next to a load of plastic trophies when you're older, or do you want to sit next to your missus? That's what you got to look at.
Yeah.
Because in reality, like, a lot of us aren't going to make it to the elite level. Like, we aren't genetically gifted and stuff like that. And it's almost like you're gonna be on your own, or you're gonna be, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but even so, like, who are genetically gifted, it still doesn't mean you can be a
No,
dick.
it still doesn't, to be fair.
You don't have to be a dick.
No, not 100%. No, I 100% agree. But like, some are like bad amateurs, and they're prioritizing this over like everything.
Yeah,
like,
it's just the blinkers on, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's like you're living for this 3-year period, which you're gonna like lose the whole of your future over this.
But I think that is down to, like I say, is down to anabolics.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
down to just
100%,
being
massively.
numb, like train and like fucking MPP and things like that. It's like that's the sort of stuff that like makes people just like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I don't care.
And I don't care.
Yeah.
You're like, you're gonna eventually.
Yeah.
Because and hand on heart, that has been me in the past.
Previous.
I've done it in the past and just been like, I don't care.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really, I should have cared.
Looking back.
Looking back, yeah, like at certain
as soon
moments.
as you enter like a health phase or anything.
Oh, you're like,
ooh.
oh yeah, okay.
Maybe I'll ring that person.
No, never ring.
mean it.
Never ring.
No,
Stubborn as fuck. Never ring.
Never ever call.
What's next one? So, okay, how to become a successful online coach. First thing, what do you start off with? Like, say someone's brand new and they're just coming into the industry.
Yeah.
Would you say, right, be a PT? Would you say gym floor? Would you say online? What is the first sort of...
I genuinely think you've got to have done something yourself. I'd probably say competed more than anything, not just got in shape, because it's another level of, like, it's not like you've got in shape for a holiday, and I think you've got to have done it with yourself a few times. Like, a lot of, like, going back, I had several coaches coming up, and then I was like, right, I need to do this myself. I need to see if what I've learned over this period of time works, and it did. And then it's like I reached out to, like, 10 of my closest friends at the time. I'm like, do you mind if I give you a diet? Would you? Or I had them reach out to me and stuff, like, just vice versa. And like, will you do my diet? Yeah, of course I will. And then, but don't charge for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you will find that I don't like, and it's not that I wouldn't give stuff for free. 100% I do, but I don't like doing it because if there's no tangible value to what you're giving them, people don't do it.
Mm.
But if someone pays for something, they'll stick to it, even if it's very little. But I think do it for free, get a baseline of like 5 to 10 transformations where you know, and it's not guesswork, you know what you're going to do, you know this is happening, you know if you do this, this works, you know if people will stick to it, it'll work, and it's all not guesswork. And once you've proven to yourself time and time again that you can do this, then you can start putting your services out there and go like, all right, I've done this with this person, he did this, he lost this weight, I got this person from unhealthy to fit by doing this. And as long as you can prove why your actions work and things like that, and you have the ability to actually take someone from out of shape to in shape, or get them ready for a holiday or anything, get them back to feeling great, get them back to feeling when they were like 20-year-old, or get like anything, or get back, at least get back in the gym, get them fit. You have ways and means of your actual theories and your practices actually work, then it's proven that it works.
Mm-hmm.
And don't just come out like, we've had it in the past as well in the gym where someone's launched as an online coach and it's like, but you've actually done nothing. You've just seen, and it's not. And I think I've seen it with one lad who launched because I've seen your success, and I was like, but it's mad, like,
oh, like seeing that, like what
you do on a daily basis, where you've got a lot of freedom, but you change a lot of lives, and he just like changed his bio, and I was like, and it was along the lines of like, what would you do for a diet? Well, like chicken and rice and stuff, and I'm like, oh my, like,
yeah,
and then it's like, if you launch yourself now, your chance of ever doing it actually properly is very slim, because you don't know what you're doing. Yeah. So you're going to launch yourself, and then you'll get known as the guy who actually has no idea.
Mm-hmm. And the thing for me is like reputation is everything.
Yeah.
How I look at it is I'm thinking to myself, okay, pick a niche. So pick somebody who you resonate with and somebody that resonates with yourself. Okay, and then go, okay, educate myself as much as I possibly 100%. Can on that.
Yeah.
Again, like you said, take 10 people, because the 5 will drop off, 6 will drop off. You might get 4.
Yeah.
Take 10 people in January or whatever it is, and say, I'm going to help you for free, right? And then use that education. So what that allows you then to do is get results, but it also allows you to understand, like, we have this hierarchy in our businesses, like results, service, and then obviously like education.
Yes.
So that's the things we look for in what we do in our coaching. So results always come first, because the actual client only cares about outcomes.
Yeah, they've all come with a Q&A of like, what's your long-term goal, what's your short-term, and that's it. That's it.
They just care about outcomes.
Yeah.
But then once you've got that credibility of, I can actually do this as a job, I am actually an online coach, or I actually can coach people, you can then start putting content out there because it gives you the credibility. So then start building up content to add more and more value.
Yes.
So add more value through content, which then shows people that you know what you're doing, your education, and then obviously service-based. So you're looking at like, okay, so doing testimonials because that shows that you are good at service and you can do it. You're looking at also your actual like value, so, and then also your personality. People don't realize people buy from people.
100%.
So people buy into me, buy into Tom as people, because that's what they want. There's millions of coaches, but they want to work with us because of what we stand for and what we do and the results we get. So that's how I would approach it. And then, but the main focus at the start is pick your niche, because then you're not. The thing is, everybody's like, I'm an online coach, but who do you coach? If you don't have a niche, you can't become an expert. No. People pay more for you being an expert.
Yes.
So if you're a guy that deals with diabetes, then you're like, okay, well, I'm going to be the fucking guy, the guy for diabetes. And then you can really educate yourself on that. Whereas if you're just going to be a Gen Pop, like online coach, you help Sandra, you help Ian, you help a competitor, you help. I think it's too broad. So that's what, that would be my thing to becoming an online coach. If I could go back,
you go back and start again.
And then once you get to that level of decent amount of clients, it's like, okay, now then you build a team, but that's like that's years and years of fucking about
10 years of
of work. Next question.
I've got what's the maximum and minimum amount of calories you've ever been on?
Maximum calories was 6,200, and that was brutal.
How long was that period for?
I probably lasted like 6 weeks at the end of it.
That's tough.
Yeah, it was hard. At the end of an off-season, saying that, it was probably like 5,008.
Okay.
Went up to 6.
Right,
and then went up to 6,002. So over the 6, it was like every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks.
So I had probably 6,200 for like 2 weeks. But that's why I just got to a point. I was like, nah. That's
Did you get what you wanted from them increments in terms of scale, weight, or progression in the gym?
I think back then it was very much like scale weight was the be all and end all of everything.
If it's not growing, push it up.
There's more weight. But like as we know now, like at the back end of an off season phase, the rate of gain isn't going to be the same at the fucking start. No. So it's not going to be half a pound. It's not even going to be a pound. It's not even going to be half a pound.
No.
It's like if we can get half a pound every 2 weeks. Now we're happy. So I don't feel like it warranted, or I didn't warrant doing 6,200.
That push up, especially when you're like, I can't eat anymore, and it's like, oh, just do 200 more. It's like
or even to the point where it's like, okay, well, we're on 5,800, and we're gaining 0.25 pound. Stand that then. Cool.
Like what, like the actual detriment to pushing up. Like I've been at the point where you're eating, you just, it's just not moving. It's like I can't physically eat more. Like if I try, like it won't. Like I remember being at a time where I was eating so much. I remember it'd take me like an hour and a half to eat a meal. Of just slow. But then I'd be eating again an hour and a half later, and I purposely wouldn't look at the clock, so I didn't know what time it was. So I'd be like I knew the time was coming, and I just I'm avoiding all clocks. I don't want to eat.
Like you're in a casino in Vegas.
Just
the lowest I've been is about probably 1,000, maybe a bit lower, because I have to make weight for classics.
So is that recent?
Every time I fucking have to make weight.
Just like 3 days out.
Well, I did it I went really fucking low with James Wellen. He had me on.
Oh yeah.
I think he had me on just fish every meal. And it was my own doing, really, because I was like, I'll push harder, I'll do more. Okay, and I was fucked. But I think I was on about 200 grams protein.
And that was it?
That was it. Just 200 grams protein. So no fats, no carbs. And I ended
calories.
Pardon?
800 calories.
Yeah, I ended up in a Starbucks, like, genuinely, like, losing my mind.
Yeah, I think when you eliminate all fats and everything, it's like...
It's the fats. It's the fats 100%. That... The cognitivity with your fats, and you're like...
Brain function.
And you're hormonally already fucked from prep.
Yeah.
It sends you some... So I think I lasted 2 weeks on that, and fucking diet. And I looked worse for it.
Yeah.
I actually looked worse.
It's mad what you can actually do in a prep, though, in terms of, like, just keep going.
I think I always say this to people, it's easier to starve than it is to force feed.
100%. Oh, massively.
I can starve easily.
Yeah, like, I could go...
Force feeding is like, it's once you're done, you're done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's definitely... But that was like the lowest. That was the worst. Yeah, probably the worst time I've been on prep. That was hardest.
2 weeks of 2 weeks of hell.
And I looked shit. What it was, I did a regional, and I lost the overall, which fucking drove me insane. And it was John. Don't even mind saying it was John Lofthouse.
Okay.
And he had absolutely shredded glutes, which he still has shredded glutes.
Yeah, he does all the time, doesn't he?
And then I was like, we've got 2 weeks to the British finals. I was like, I fucking need to bring that in. But I just got softer and smaller.
Yeah.
I didn't actually get any
Zero
more condition.
glycogen.
Yeah, no muscle was pushed against the skin, so I looked worse.
Looked out.
Yeah, and I was like, for fuck's sake. So I don't know if he did the British again. I can't remember. But then on my pro debut, I beat him. So it is.
Yeah. At what course during your career have you seen the most progress?
As in bodybuilding.
Yes.
Probably when I stopped. Probably when I could take coaching, full time.
And you didn't have to work, and
I didn't work, and I just bodybuild.
And it was.
Yeah, because how I used to do it was I used to get a shit job for 6 months.
Yeah, Sainsbury's and anywhere.
Chicken counter in Sainsbury's,
discount chicken,
landscaping, maybe some illegal shit. But yeah, I used to get a shit job, and then I would save up for 6 months and then prep for like the rest of the year. So prep would always be like probably like 4 months of the year, and then the last two obviously would be fucking, because it was always like October time, September was the finals. Yeah. So then I'd do them, and then obviously November, December I'd just fucking have Christmas,
go on holiday,
and then I'd get another job in January. That's how I kind of worked it. But
please can I come back?
Yeah, no, I never.
I didn't mean it.
Yeah, it's just guys, because I remember leaving the job and they'd be like, "What, are you leaving?" I said, "I told you at my interview, I'll be doing this for 6 months and then I'm going to leave." And he was like, "Yeah, we didn't believe you." I was like, "Yeah, that's what I do."
Yeah, I'm off.
But when I could afford to live, I wasn't making amazing money, like a couple of grand a month. Just living, buying my own food and stuff, and that's all I did. That's when the most progress come about. Yeah. You just control your whole day.
Yeah, you can sleep when you need to. You can eat when you need to.
I'll be honest, it's probably harder now.
Okay.
Because even though I can control my own day, I have obviously the team that relies on me, so I'm like, okay, we've got this to do,
we've got stuff to do,
we've got that to do, to do. So juggling, like I think you mentioned it the other week, didn't you? Or Dan did, saying like I couldn't make training on the time, because I was still doing work. Yeah. So then it's like, no,
you've got to, I think, to be fair, it's just gonna be chaotic, isn't it? That's all it is. Like, the intake of clients over the last, I'd say 3 months has been nuts. Yeah, it's been fright,
which is great, which
it's
we're
mega.
fucking
It's
grateful
mega.
for. But again, it's
100%.
like now I'm pulled more from that. So when I had let's just say 20 clients, I had 20 clients, and that was it, and I just had to pay my bills and bodybuild. Yeah. I made more progress then just because
you had the time.
I think it's stress. Like, it's not stress, but because it's not fucking stressful. Let's be honest, people have stressful lives. I don't. But I mean, like, in a sense of mental fatigue.
Yes.
It wears on you because you've got a lot to think about and a lot to do.
Yeah, I think with your you're especially seeing because I remember at the British, obviously we were all in the same house and everything, and then you just disappear for 10-15 minutes in your room, and I'm like, he's all right, just leave him be, because it's up at 6 a.m, check him out, right? And then it's great, I always say it's great to watch when you bring lads to the gym at 6 a.m. and they're coming in every day, and then you'll implement something. And then it's like, right, okay. And then the next day I see it and I'm like, right, okay, that makes sense now. And then to see you at the British go right, you're doing that, you're doing that, you're doing that. And they're all different. They're all completely different. There was one guy, we all went to 5 guys. It's like, you're having this, you're not. And I'm like, oh, you type bastard. Yeah,
it's the way it is. It's how it is.
So,
you can eat,
salt,
you can eat, you can't eat.
You can't eat. Now, there's just the colour and everything. I'm like, you don't look well now.
Yeah, he was like, oh, sorry. I'm like, you've got one more day.
Yeah, just crack on.
But yeah, that's when it's stuff like that. Again, it's just them weeks coming up to the British and stuff like that is, like I say, check-ins twice a day, innit? So it's like you've 10 guys all competing at one show. You're like, oh shit, okay, right, we've got to
20 check-ins a day, just
bang, but in person as well. Like, what it is for me is the rest of it, the conversations. Yeah. Because I have to be tuned into everybody chatting, and I'm like, okay, so I'll take myself off because I'm like, I just need to I
just need a minute.
I just need a minute. Yeah. I'm like, okay, sweet, because what they don't realise is I'm thinking 2 steps ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
so I'm like thinking, right, okay, that's going to work like that. So that we'll probably do that. Maybe do this for that.
Yeah, depending on
times 10.
Times 10 people.
Yeah, and then they ask, am I on 100 grams of carbs? I'm like, So yeah, it's a lot. So this time of year is more now gearing up for like January, innit?
Yeah, and then setting clients up for shows. Obviously September on next year or early. I think the main goal for this year is to get everyone competing at the back end of the year, isn't it? So that, because the majority, well, all of, I'd say our clients now, well, especially yours, are all like British final competitors, aren't they? So I think anyone aiming to do the British final, I always struggle with people who compete early and then do the British final late, because you've got such a long period in between.
Yeah, I just wouldn't do it. I say to everybody all the time, like, just eke out your off-season even longer.
Yeah, just push for that extra, get an extra 20-week push-up done.
Do it even little bit of a longer prep, like if you've got a little bit longer prep.
Yeah.
But again, it's like compete in September, because you've got 5, 6, 7 shows in September.
Yes.
And then you've got October. So the best way to do it is that, I feel anyway. But
100%,
when you compete in May, no one. There's one, Tony, who can shout. He won't watch this, but he's old school as fuck.
There's very few people who can, but Tony's got, obviously, he can take himself mentally where he just does it, and because there's not many people who can come out of it.
I can't do it.
Oh, mate, I couldn't. You come out of it, come back to normal life, and it's like, oh, you're gonna put yourself back in. It's like, no,
I even struggled show to show.
Yeah, weeks between.
Like, yeah, because I'm like, I have 2 days, say 1 or 2 days off.
Yeah.
Go out for food, like see friends, see family, go to cinema. And I'm like, this is fucking amazing. I feel great. This is what normal feels like. Yeah. And then it's like back on the Stairmaster. And within 20 minutes of being on that Stairmaster, you're like,
yeah, that first Stairmaster back is like, it's like weeks. It feels like weeks, doesn't it? Yeah. And you're just like, I don't want to do this. Yeah, and you're fighting you just fight yourself all the way through. The
weeks in between shows just feel like forever.
Yeah.
You're like, oh God.
Yeah, they dragged on.
Yeah, they drag so long. So I can probably do 2 or 3 shows max.
And
then I'm done. Right, yeah, I think that's for me. And then it's staying. You feel fine, like mentally, but your body's still like 5% body fat. Yeah. So you feel so fatigued.
Yeah, the moment you drop back in there and your glycogen drops is the moment it kicks in. You're like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, I would love to be able to say after the next prep, I won't go out for food. But I know I will. Yeah. But it'd be ideal not to.
It's more for, like, I know yourself as well. I know you enjoy it and everything, but it's more for other people, isn't it? Where obviously your family or your missus or whatever is stuck by you all through the prep, and you just kind of want to be like, this is for you. Like,
of course.
Like I'm here, I'm with you
present.
now. Yeah, I've not been present for like 16 weeks. Apologies, whatever.
Apologies, whatever.
Whatever. But no, but it is. It's like, I want to sit down with my missus or my family, and I want to enjoy this meal, or at least, like, obviously we'll go out for a meal and stuff like, and you want to sit with your coach and be like, thank you for everything, and you know what I mean, and stuff like that. But then it's putting yourself back in it is like, it's not great, is it?
It is hard, but that's where, like, then to go back into a prep after being off season for a little bit, it doesn't happen. Cardio, should you do cardio in the off season? What do you give to clients?
I purposely now do cardio in the off season from yourself. I'd never, everyone who knew me previous, I'd never do cardio. I did hate it. Like, I'd prefer to go through a prep and just reduce food when I needed to. But this time around, like, I genuinely felt 10 times better keeping it in, even in off season, like 100%. I feel alive all the time. Whereas in previous, where I've pushed food, I just start to become lethargic and everything like that. And mainly for like cardiovascular health, heart health, and everything. Like, I think it's a no-brainer. I keep it in again with clients year round now, where I will do minimum like 3, maybe 4 sessions a week, just like 10-15 minutes, get that heart rate up. Sweet. And then obviously as we enter prep, if we need to push it up a bit further, we will do. If we don't, we don't. That's what this year I've implemented with myself and with you and other guys. Of doing like these short intervals as well. And I think in the off season they make so much sense. Doing like an upper body and a lower body interval session, like 12 minutes, like 1 minute on, 1 minute off. 80% like all out, 1 minute where you just complete rest. I find, like, for me, for that, fitness levels, because when you're getting to a 300k hack squat, it's a matter of like, okay, well, if we've not got the capacity to deal with that, or 20 rep hack squat, it's normally people's breathing and fitness levels that call it a day before
and the ability to deal with lactic acid is that fucks them
before muscle actual
failure. It's more just I can't breathe. So even with set deadlifts or recovery time in between sets, so if we mimic in off season, if we mimic training, 1 minute set, 1 minute rest.
Yeah.
That is going to allow us then to our work rate and our capacity to be a bit more.
To push
so
on.
doing like a row or a ski erg for that, and
Yeah.
doing like or battle ropes or something, or like then doing a bike works perfectly. Like,
And I'll always know 100% if the client's done it, because I'll get a message.
Yeah,
That's hell.
I
That's hell.
remember when you did.
Oh, mate, straight away I was like, I can't do that. Like, this is horrific. But by like third session, fourth session, like, I love it. Like, you just fully get into it, and like you start generally feeling better. And I actually look forward to doing it now, because I know I'm going to feel better from doing it.
Yeah, I think like the actual benefits of it happen within a week or two.
Oh,
And
100%.
I feel great. I feel.
But your first time, I'll always expect a text, and if I don't get it, I'm like, you've
never done it. You've
either
done
not done it, or you're doing it proper half-hour.
Yeah.
100%.
Nutritional.
Yep.
What are your go-to protein sources?
100% chicken every day and whey. I think eggs as well, but obviously, fats and protein in that. But chicken and whey, and then mince, 5% lean mince. Very rarely have steak, to be fair, apart from if I'm away. I steak a lot. Yeah,
but you don't eat like.
But very rare. No, I eat a lot of lean mince in off season. Like, I'd say 4 or 5.
For?
To be fair, there isn't one. I think it's just I just utilise mince better, because I cook several different meals.
What I find, like, for me, it would be like first meal eggs.
Yeah.
So I'll do like a mixture. I'll do like eggs and whey for first meal.
Yeah.
So because it's normally out with oats or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I'll do mince more so in the off season, because what I find as well is because it's pre like not digested, but pre like grounded up.
Yeah.
It's so much easier to eat than chicken.
Like
fucking chewing chicken. I hate chicken, unless it's Nando's.
Unless it's Nando's, everyone loves Nando's.
I was doing a Nando's a day at one point, so it was fucking costing me a
Nando's
fortune.
or Five Guys.
Five Guys is more expensive. So I could get my Nando's meal in. This is sad that I know this. I can get my Nando's meal in for £12, which is not bad.
Sweet.
Yeah, happy days.
You need a black card.
Yeah. But chicken just for the chewing. So what I find is like rice and mince with like bolognese sauce,
easy, just
it's easy to get in and easy to get in that way. And I think as well, if you're looking for off season, like, because this is kind of like off season series, if you're looking for more calorie dense stuff, having a higher like 10% red meat is going to be more beneficial than having chicken. Yeah. So allows you to get more fats in through that meal. Then the same principle as I use salmon, just for that same principle. So I can get a decent like 40-50 grams of protein, but then 20 grams of fat
from it as well.
So like them actual meals get me a decent amount of calories. I can get 1,000 calories in the meals. Where a chicken and rice would probably be like 600.
Do you know there's one thing? I've never tried salmon.
You've never?
Never ever.
What?
I know. I like, everyone said it, and there was a time where it actually got made for me. This is great, and then the house we were at the time, this is going back a long time ago, we were looking after a cat. It might be my mum was honestly looking after a cat.
Where's this story going?
Yeah, honestly. So then I hid it in the microwave, because obviously, unless the cat could open it.
So do you think you don't like it, or you just?
I just think I just never ate it. I don't even know. Like, I think
you not even tried
I was going to try it, and then I went out and then forgot
right.
about it. Come back to it, and obviously it's been sat in the microwave for like a day or whatever, however long it'd been, and it just didn't look great. So I was like, no. But I've still never tried salmon.
Never.
But I've had like prawns, lobster, everything. I've just never had salmon.
Oh yeah, salmon.
I need to.
You need to.
Might go to the shop.
Air fry salmon.
Air fry salmon.
Done.
That's the one.
Smoke, like slightly smoked.
That's it. You'll probably have to make it.
No,
I'll come round.
I'm gonna pretend that I make my salmon. I don't make it. Someone else.
You don't make salmon.
What's another question you got?
I've got one more for you here. Yeah. To be fair, the one I've got is very similar to hers. Is there a setup you'd recommend, training setup for a complete beginner?
Oh, okay.
We kind of went on the
that,
upper lower split. Mm-hmm. So, the one big question:
what?
Competitions next year. People want to know.
Fucking
the
disability class.
Is your plan still to compete back end of next year?
Yeah, I need to. Right now is, again, I say this in every podcast, push up. I need to push up, like, I need to be 20 pounds heavier. Okay. So if we're looking at like a rate of gain about £1 a week for 20 weeks, solidify that, hold that. So that'll be what, December, January, February, March, May, June, probably like cruise phase. So maintain.
And then
and then it'll be July, August.
Prep.
Prep. What I'm gonna do though is, what I've noticed with yourself, what we've run with you, is we can drop body fat with minimal amount of gear. So when I'm running a cruise phase, I might run like 500 mg total.
Yeah.
Blood work can still get back perfect.
And put your calories a touch. And then
Yeah,
just let it fall in.
so I could have 8 weeks of prep there.
Yeah.
So I could have like May, June as prep.
Yeah.
And taking body fat off.
Yeah.
And then obviously still be in a cruise phase, and then obviously add my cycling ready for.
So we did that with myself. I think for those that don't know, I got to Thailand in a few days, so, you know, and we did obviously start the health phase after the last push up, and then I think
how many pounds were you up?
I was up from 169 at the PCA Hull to 205, so 36.
36 pounds.
And then we've pulled it down now this morning, 185. To drop like 20 pound.
Yeah, 20.
We've took off. And then obviously I think through that period though, we've not really done anything, have we? We've like reduced calories to, I think 4,000, 3.6. We did 4, and then we took it to 3.6, and then it's just literally just falling
like
off.
20 minutes cardio.
20 minutes cardio of light intensity, just
bike.
doddles, yeah, and then, but that's all during this health phase. So everything, all the markers are going back in range and everything, getting fitter, getting healthier. And then just push up again for, I think we've said 20 weeks, haven't we?
Yeah, if we do another, I think for yourself, if we do another 20-week push-up, so we got like back in December, we go through that, that'll have us in such a good place then.
To actually start prep, just get calories as high as possible.
Well, yeah, I think even just to get body weight back up, because you're like now, what, say, like if we added gear back in, you'd be like 189, so let's just say you're 20 pounds up now, and in really good condition.
Yeah.
If we then now push that up another 20 pounds, over 15 to 20 pounds, that's going to have you at fucking, what's that going to be?
215?
Yeah, 215 from 169.
Yeah.
So
then, if anabolic's going, it'd probably be touching 219, 220.
Yeah.
And then obviously pulled out the start. Well, hell, with them, we've got like an 8 to 12 week health phase, haven't we? But probably like we've discussed before, just start prep then, but not to just basically reduce calories just a touch. And like we've done literally nothing in terms of, there's been no stress at all in this. It's just like we've took calories. I think it was on 4.6, wasn't it? 4.6, and now we're on 3.6. Yeah. But it went from.
Was that over 7-8 weeks?
Yeah, 4.6 to, we took it down to 4. 4. We took it to bang on 4, and then eked that out, and then reduced it again, and that was it.
Yeah.
All the way through, like.
And the cardio's gone up by 5 minutes.
Yeah, and this is again another thing I say to like clients always is like, if you're gonna start a dieting phase, try and get your calories high.
Yeah,
like 100%.
You need to build it up to a point where you've got enough runway in it.
To then you've got enough to kind of play with, to take off, to then obviously get in shape on higher calories. Because I think the last time I competed as well, obviously you took over about 6 to 8 weeks out, I think. And my calories then were still, I think it was on like 2,800, 3,000 maybe, and then you upped them, and I was like, oh right, okay. It wasn't an up. It was like, I remember this because my meal always, what I said to my missus is like, I'm gonna get 5 guys after the show, always. And I'd said to her like, I can't wait for it, and, you know, and then she's like, right. So she was like, I've got to wait. I was like, if you're like, you can go, but we do a lot together. And then I remember that night you took over. I think it was 8 weeks out. He's like, you need to get 5 guys, and I was like, oh right. I was
like, oh, fuck prep.
So then I rang her, and she's like, really? Like, and fucking, she nearly cried. And I was like, yeah. And then and then it was like every like 3 days, you're like, you're gonna go and get 5 guys, go and get 5 guys, go and get. And I think because I kept myself in relatively good condition throughout the whole off season, then prep was so easy. Like that last prep, well, from when you took over, was the easiest thing. Like it didn't even feel like a prep.
Yeah, it wasn't doing cardio or anything, was it?
I did no cardio all the way through in that whole thing. I think the only time I did it was in between the first and second show because I went nuts.
How did you feel at the back end of this push-up phase?
I found it hard. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like because it's complete new territory. I'd like to say I've never been above like 190 ever, like from like birth. No, so it was complete new territory for me. Strength-wise was phenomenal. I just felt heavy. Like, and I think you timed it to perfection. We eked out what we could, and it was like, right, okay, we're going to go into health phase. It like timed so well that literally, like, I I probably dropped like 4 or 5 pounds in a week and felt great.
Yeah, you
like,
felt miles better.
I think it's completely, like I say, complete new territory for me in terms of body weight and condition stuff. Like I've said this before on these podcasts, like I wasn't out of condition, but for me I was like a lot of people would say like, okay, I'd love to look like you in that shape, but for me it was like new, like completely new. Whereas obviously for like 90% of the people out there, love, like, and I'm not trying to be big-headed in any way, but they like to be in that condition. But from going from, and I always say this to anyone who says they want to compete, I'm like, are you sure? Because the moment you've hit that level of body fat, anything above it is like, oh, I'm out of shape. Yeah. But you're still like 90% better. Well,
I do it all the time, don't I?
Oh,
I'm like, oh, I fucking look shit. I'm fine.
Whereas we're betting that you can beat in 8 weeks.
Yeah,
like, he's on stage in 8 weeks.
You look like 5 weeks out, right?
But that's what I'll always say to people, like, mentally, you sure you want to compete? Because it is great getting on stage, but the actual, like, I'd say it's like a lifetime of, if as soon as you're anything above stage, or not anything above, but, you know, a touch above it, you're like, oh, I need to diet, or you know that you can get, you know what lean is.
Yeah, your perception of lean.
Yeah, there's like holiday lean, and then there's like stage lean, where you've, for those that have like achieved actual stage condition, it's like another level of, and the moment you're out of it, people say to you, oh, you look lean, but you're like, no, I don't.
Yeah,
like, you get it all, you do it all the time, don't you? But you actually are. But
compared to what you used to, your level of conditioning is different now. Your standards is different.
Yeah, so.
But yeah, that's what I would say is like, when you see, the best thing about obviously putting that body weight on and getting very strong is great, because the new muscle mass that you've gained is clearly fucking shit ton. Yeah. But it is when the back end of that, you've got to be able to get it just before. Yeah. Like we said, just before don't try push it too far. No. Like we're saying about going from 5,800 calories to 6,000 to 6,200. Yeah. That's the wrong decision.
Yes.
That's where it's like, okay, let's pull back, freshen up, keep your momentum, keep your enthusiasm, keep everything moving. Yes, we're going to take off body weight, but you're still fucking as strong.
Yeah, it's quite frightening. Like, and I get this with a lot of people in prep as well. I struggle where, like, when it comes to obviously like calorie, where you put calories and stuff, and trying to keep your calories as high. One of the main reasons is to keep your strength, because I see a lot of people. There's one person in particular, I won't mention his name because I don't want to do that, but the back end of a prep, I've never seen as worst training in my life. And it was like coming in every day, because his food was so low, his training was that bad, and his physique just disappeared. Yeah,
because it doesn't maintain any
muscle. Like, so what stress caught, like, made the muscle, keep it. So the main aim through any prep is always to keep that strength as high as possible, or keep there. But mine just seemed to just keep going. Yeah. Like, because my food was high all the time, and then when you took over, we was adding in more food. Anyone who's asked me before, I've shown them the logbook of a start of a prep to end, and the figures are frightening. Yeah,
because you've built new muscle.
Yeah, and this is what I always say to people about, like, not the perfect reps and stuff like that, and about the people who go like, oh, it's got hard now, can we change it, or do we look for something new? Like, if you get them additional reps all the way through, you can 100% grow through a whole prep. Yeah. And I think it's a lot of a mindset issue as well, and down to obviously calories and stuff like that people really struggle to train.
It's what we said before about the post-show phase.
Yes.
If you nail that post-show phase,
it can be phenomenal.
So that's like yourself now, you was 36 pounds up.
Yeah.
And it took, how long was that over?
Like 6 months or so.
Yeah, 6-7 months eked out.
Yeah.
And we were like, okay, like 20, 25, 30 weeks, and it's like, okay, now we need to cut it back a bit.
Yeah, now I'm going to Thailand. All right, we'll do a diet. Sound cool. But we probably would have put it back, but in reality, we not only pulled it back because I'm going on holiday, but it's been a reason. But we could have gone probably just a little bit more, or you know what I mean. But I think it is just.
It just worked out perfectly, didn't it?
I think it worked out for timing wise, because I didn't want to go on holiday like 30 pounds over, you know what I mean, whatever. But,
don't want to end up like me on the fucking on PP Island beach. No, because I can't post that shit.
No,
put a fucking vest on.
You've done the picture under that big rock thing, and I'm like, I can't do that.
Was it the waterfall one?
I don't have a clue, and I'm like, I can't do a picture there.
Yeah, you can do it. Yeah, I'm like,
did Ryan do it? I can't do
I'll
that.
angle that shit.
Yeah. I'll stand close, like the camera will be like here.
No, but it's going to be exciting, because we've got the 8-week Elite Physique that is starting on the 13th of January.
Yes.
So that just gives people the opportunity. Like, this sounds bad, but you're a fucking idiot if you don't sign up to that. Because
honestly, like,
you're getting full coaching for 50%.
Yeah.
And you've seen the transformations. It's just fucking crazy.
Like, I think.
And the thing is, then it just leads everybody into for the new year and the next year, and they're just on this. How many we retain pretty much everybody.
It's like I was speaking to Dan about it the other day, and I think from the first 8 week elite physique we had, which was back in January this year, so going back like 11 months, and I'd say I still have 75% of them people as clients.
Yeah.
Like easily, because the main thing that we put across is, even if people have had coaches in the past, the service, like Ryan said before, the service we actually offer as a company, like, and how in depth we are with everything. I'll share like feedback from clients where it says like, is there anything we could do to improve the service? And I've never had one person say anything.
No.
And it's like, it's phenomenal. There's just tons, and the main thing it does is it gives people a taste, well, not a taste, but a full feeling for what coaching we actually offer for a reduced price. And it's like 100%, it's like, send me the link, I'm signing me the link. It's just,
my biggest thing for the 8 week elite physique is allowing people to experience coaching who don't understand the value of coaching.
Yeah, and then,
So, because maybe they've had coaching in the past, or maybe they've had it, and it's like, okay, so we're going to reduce the price right down and allow you to have full coaching and get the results that you've never could imagine you're going to get in 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And you're then going to be able to see the results, and then it allows them to then take the physique to even the next level. That's why we say like 8 week elite physique, because we're going to make sure your physique is elite by the end of it. And then that, like say, with them, that many people that just retake the problem is now there's too many people. No, it's never.
I think as well, and it's always like guaranteed. It's always like, I can't wait to see what I'll like in 12 months, because they know they're on the right path, and they know that they put the trust in us as coaches, and they know that every decision we're making, like, no matter their age or anything, like we've had people like, was it Johnny was like 60 odd year old, and he's like, I've never been in this shape at 60. And he's like 60 now, he's like, and a lot of his thing is like, I wish you were around when I was 20.
It's fun. It's fun for us because we can already see, because we do it that much, we can already see what people are going to look like.
100%.
So that's going to be starting in, so we're going to run that throughout of December to sign up. The start date will be, the cut off date will be January the 5th.
Yeah,
and then obviously
don't message on the 7th. You're on full price then.
And then it'll start on the 13th, and that'll run for 8 weeks.
8 weeks, and then
if you're interested in that, then
when would it finish then? So if we're saying the 13th,
it'll be the end of Feb-ish.
End of Feb. Be one of the people at the end of Feb. Where you're like, I look class.
And that's the thing that's going to be there. So we've got that coming up, and then we've got team meetups for Christmas, and then it's just planning out the next
phase of 2025. 2024 has been a blast, hasn't it?
He's enjoyed it. Loved it.
I think it was like 12 months ago. I started January with you coaching, but I think it was agreed like 12 months before. I think I sat on this couch, but in a different studio 12 months before.
How you found the coaching?
Loved it. Every minute. I think the main, it's just, we're very similar, where it's like, just help as many people, and then coming on board with you, obviously, with, your level in the industry and stuff, and the amount of clients you've got and the amount of people wanting to work with you, it just gave me the ability just to help so many more people. And that was it. And like, just we're working from anything from like, if like alcoholics, getting them off, just showing them the benefits of not having it and putting their effort into something else, or into another direction of like fitness and stuff. We've had helping older people, younger people, like people just starting out, and then realizing I can actually go to stage with this, like my physique's up there. Because a lot of people, when they see competitors, like, I could never do that. Like I'm not built like that. And then they actually eat the right foods, train the right way and stuff, and they're like, I could do this. Like, it's complete, like, changing people's like perception on what they can actually do.
What they're capable of.
Like I say, like Johnny who's over 60, like getting him to in that condition, which he's never been able to do, even though he's had coaches in the past and stuff. It's not bad naming any coach, I'm just saying we're better. Even though he's had coaches in the past, but they just couldn't get him there. And I've had like a client like Andy, and he's like, all these other coaches have focused on reducing his calories, and his training had gone to pot. Literally flipped it. No, we're going to feed you training. And his physique's just gone like bang. And he's like, I've never looked at like prioritizing training as a thing and getting stronger in the gym to actually get in better shape. You always, like, a lot of people always think like reduce calories, get rid of fat, and then the performance goes like ding. And they actually end up with less output, so they burn less calories, so they reduce the calories but end up burning less calories. It's just a vicious, all right, pull more, and then the performance is worse, and then they burn less, pull more, and then the next minute they're on like 1,000 calories. 6 meals of fish.
I think for us, at the start of 2024, it was our vision. I always do a vision for the guys, and like help as many people as possible.
That's it, innit?
Like, that was the goal, is like just help it and have a massive impact. So it's like, the thing for us is help people to see or to believe or become the best version of themselves. And that's where we then trying to delve into every aspect of that, supporting them, allowing them to with nutrition, training, supplementation, even with mindset side of things, innit?
Yeah.
Of what they're capable of and what these like. We've had it. It was so nice to have the guys with the testimonials because it was more like, oh, guys are mentors, they're an inspiration to us, and it's like we have this thing where it's like lead from the front, and what that means is for us is do what you like, be a man of your word, do what you're gonna do and sit and do what you say you're gonna do. So then obviously your actions like impact other people more than your words, because you can stand there and say, oh, do this and do that, but what have you done? And that's where our biggest thing is now, is we lead from the front, and then our other clients are then having a knock-on effect to other clients.
And
the community that we're building is just fucking
it's mad at the moment. I think the meetups we're doing and stuff, like, I mean, it's great having the gym and stuff, and everyone just comes when it's closed, and having the gym to ourselves and seeing all the lads together, and then we all go out for food. And I think, like, and even like I said this before, like at the British, I can guarantee there was no group who rented a whole house together. I mean, it made your job a hell of a lot easier because they're all there, and it was like 6 a.m. You're all up, right? You're all lying in there. And it's like a lot of them didn't sleep, did they?
No.
Kieran.
No one slept.
Kieran just doesn't sleep at all, does he?
No,
but he was up, he was ready, and then all that, the excitement's just like thinking of like having the community we've got where, like I say, we're all there, and like it was going out for food together, and then we were all, prepping together and everything, and then getting up together, going to the show together. It was just mad, innit? And then you'd see coaches who would be stood there, and then the clients would arrive individually, and it was like,
it's nice to be able to bring everybody together and have that camaraderie in it.
I think then that's the plan in it. I think the goal is to obviously help you. If we've said like everyone do the Manchester show next year. So watch out. Everyone do the Manchester show next year. So like we're all gonna arrive as a team. We'll rent a big house again, and we'll all stay there. And then weekends, like, that's been the best. Like, I wasn't even prepping, but I enjoyed that weekend because we're all together.
It's just bodybuilding.
Like, bodybuilding is generally so lonely. It is like, you don't really want to speak to anyone, you don't want to ever, but when you're all together in the same boat and you're all got the same goal, you're all standing on the same stage the day after, you're all in the same position. It's just... the thing is with the guys, they're making, like, lifelong friends. Like, mates who are in the same mindset, same thing. So, it's... I'm excited for 2025. It's going to be...
Get this fucking hamstring fixed ASAP. BCP, everything jabbed into it.
Did legs today.
And then legs tomorrow.
Legs today. But no, right? When was it? You was at the gym. You was like, he's feeling. I was like, don't even bother you. Like, he's feeling all right though. I'm like, it's been a week, Ryan. Like, don't like. But I feel no. I feel like
it's hard though when you see you guys, and I'm like,
I feel like honestly, like the day you turning up to the gym, just like building a wall around the leg, like, shut, mate. I don't know what's happening. It's on fire. Like, it's gone.
Well, so another successful podcast. We do actually need to do this more.
I enjoy it.
Now I'm back. Well, I'm floating everywhere. Who knows?
Yeah.
But we'll make more time for it because I actually enjoy sitting, chatting bullshit.
Talking, even though we do it every day.
every day. Thank you for watching, guys. If you've made it this far,
congrats.
Well done. Fucking hell.
Give me a thumbs up if you have.
Like, subscribe, all that jazz.
MAGA.
Thanks.